Howdy, it's Todd again, and for the next few minutes, we're going to talk about messaging in our Contingents app called Adventure on WSJ. Before you get started, make sure that you have your mobile smartphone with our Contingents app installed and your profile set up and ready to go. If you don't have it set up yet, don't worry. Visit the tutorial video at bit.ly/WSJ USA tutorial. Now, as we've mentioned in other videos, members of the contingent have different views based on their role. So if you're a youth unit leader IST, you'll have different tiles in the app and you'll have different permissions to see things. However, messaging is shared across all members of the contingent, and there's a tile for it called Messages. Think of Messages as a place to view all of your chat threads. If you tap the button here, you'll be taken to the messaging window. There are two main things we want to point out here. First are your active chat threads. Right now, this user doesn't have any chat threads, but they will here in just a few moments. Now, you may be wondering, what is a chat thread? You can think of a thread as an email conversation. Just as whenever you start an email conversation with somebody, you'll pick a subject and a body, and you'll send that message to them or a group of people. When you get a reply, you'll see that text below the original message that you sent, and you continue chatting back and forth. It's the same idea for a chat thread, and you'll get to see that here in a few moments. Secondly, we want to point out how to start a new thread or a new chat conversation, which we'll talk about now. The first step is to tap on that plus, which is right there in the top right of the window. Next, you'll be taken to a screen that allows you to select Start Private Discussion. For the USA contingent, we do not allow any public discussions. After you tap that, you'll be taken to the composition window. The first step here is to enter your subject. Here, a scout wants to start a conversation about having Danishes with a Danish. Be sure to put in a descriptive and specific subject. Next, you'll be asked to select your recipients. Be sure to select a part of the name for people you want to invite that's specific to them. Now, since we have over 9,000 members as a part of the contingent, it's important to remember to be patient. It takes a long time to search all those names. However, after a short wait, their person's name will pop up here. Tap the name to add them to the list, and if you have multiple people, keep adding them in using the same method. Now it's time for you to type out your message. This is called the body of the chat thread. The first message in the thread will appear here, so make sure that you type it correctly as you can't go back and change it later. Whenever you're done, be sure that everything is correct, and when you're ready, tap Send a Message. When you do that, you'll be taken to the screen and you'll see that your message is now sent. Congratulations. Here, you can see where your message is, as well as all the recipients and the subject of your message, which is located in the blue bar towards the top of the screen. When it's time to follow up with a message, it's very simple to do so. Just type out your reply in the box called Reply All, and then tap the green button called Reply All. It's that simple. You'll see here that Johnny Appleseed followed up with a second message to his original. Now, there are two things to keep in mind whenever you're sending or receiving messages. First, you cannot send or receive any emojis, and the same goes for pictures or GIFs. We'd love to offer this functionality, but we just simply cannot. Now, you may have noticed whenever you're sending messages that you have some colored boxes on the users. These designate the role that that user has as a part of the USA contingent. Those colors mean the following. A green is a youth participant. Purple means that they are an adult leader. Red means that they're a staff member or international service team. Gold means that they are part of the contingent management team, and silver means that they're part of the jamboree planning team, or the people putting on the jamboree. Use these cues to make sure that you're adding the right people to the chat, as sometimes there are multiple people with the same name as a part of the contingent. It's an important note here to remember to always abide by the youth protection training and safe from harm at all times. That means no one-on-one contact is allowed. If you are aware of any inappropriate behavior that happens either in the messaging portion of the app or anywhere else, report it immediately to apphelp@wsj2019.us. No inappropriate behavior will be tolerated. Now that you know how to send a message and how to reply to a message, let's see what it's like when you get a new one. Just like a text on your phone's going to buzz, the screen will light up, and you'll see a notification for the reply that was sent to you. There are three things that you should look at when you get a new message. First is the name of the thread. Here, Emily replied to the thread that we had going earlier, called Danishes with the Danish. Next, you'll see that it was Emily who sent it, because her name is at the end of the message, as well as her role, as she defined it as a part of her profile. Lastly, the rest of the message is made up of the content that she sent to you. Whenever it's time, just tap on the notification to be taken directly to the chat thread. Here, you can see that she replied to the message, and her reply is at the bottom. It's easy to check who are the recipients of a message. Just tap on the little triangle to the left of the word recipients, and the screen will update with all the recipients. Here, you can see Emily and Johnny are the only people in the message, and you can also see their role based on the colored square in the corner. Now, there are two easy ways for you to check your messages in the app. First, simply tap on the Messages tile that is on everyone's phone. Or, if you want to see the most recent threads, scroll down to the bottom of the screen and look for the area that says Latest Discussions. Here, Johnny has only chatted with Emily about Danishes with the Danish, so that's the only one that'll show up. If you have any comments or questions, please ask a buddy first, or you can also email us at help@wsj2019.us.